Deputy Head of the State Service for Geodesy and Cartography and Cadastre, Dmytro Makarenko, who will speak about NSDI as a basis for future recovery of Ukraine. The presentation is on the screen. I hope you will be able to see it. Good morning, colleagues. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure for me to speak today about NSDI. Maybe we've won out the audience with this issue, but we need to revisit the issue over and over again, especially as we have quite good results of our work. I'd like to start my presentation with the following slide. This is an analysis of how NSDI works, and we actually selected 4 most advanced in this field countries in order to shape the very concept of the work of NSDI and relevant legal framework. So what I singled out for myself as regards those models, we see that in Norway, for instance, there are a lot of sets of data. There's a lot of cooperation among more than 600 stakeholders. In Poland, it's slightly less. There is one custodian which deals with 15 sets. In Germany, 80% of the managerial decisions are taken on the basis of integrated information. And all this prompted us that we in Ukraine should have our own concept of NSDI. In Ukraine, we have to tailor our work to the needs that arise in our country. We've shaped a legal framework, put it in place, and adopted it, and in 2021, at the initiative of the International Cartography Agency, we had a chance to use the special IGF methodology. And the commentaries that we received as a result of this analysis are shown on the screen, but this is very straightforward. Ukraine should pay more attention to the issues of Cadastre, to data exchange, and launch of a network of GNSS system and register. All this was spelled out in a report, which was a result of a painstaking analysis, as well as talks and interviews with the main stakeholders of NSDI. Without a national encompassing idea, it is impossible to carry this idea forward. That's why the main questions that I would like to ask to each participant in the conference is, what should be the main idea or the driving force of the NSDI in Ukraine? Now, let's not hasten with the answer. At the final slide, we will come back to this question and we'll analyze what is most important for Ukraine now in terms of geospatial data and our future plans. I'd like to dwell upon the following. During several years of work, we came to realize that if we don't have a practical applicability, and if this system is purely theoretical, there can be no development. That is why we decided to develop our global initiative, thanks to our colleagues from the Research Institute. And we started our work to implement practical solutions, special use cases of practical nature. What does this mean? We divided use cases into two types. Use cases for the whole territory of Ukraine, the information which is accessible throughout Ukraine without any exceptions. At our Geo portal, we've launched ortho photos with the boundaries of territories, with the boundaries of the blocked territories. Apart from that, there was a very important case with the invincibility points, which were very active during the blackouts, and we could monitor the work of those points in any selected point. And the other type of cases is the spatial analysis in a certain area where you could see the administrative boundaries of communities with all the data from the topography maps, with the analysis of soils, the buffer zones, as well as the analysis of soils in those particular spots.
As it has already been mentioned, this geoportal functions in the closed modes, but the majority of state institutions, local self-governments and research institutions can get free access to this information after registration. Also, the third point which I would like to mention on the existing cartographic data and information from Cartographic Fund. You can find on the Geo portal the list of all metadata on cartographic materials which are contained in the Cartographic Geo Fund. It's not access to materials, but it's a list of materials, but it simplifies substantially the procedure of getting access to them and submitting application for further use. We are sure that this will substantially streamline the work on further revival of Ukraine and renovation of cartographic materials, and avoid duplication of information. So far, we do not stop on this. We've presented and launched a list of metadata in a global sense. We plan to integrate digital materials from Cartographic Fund completely, but this needs some time and resources. And we may form such extract which you see on the screen in the PDF mode with all information, so that later to apply to Cartographic Geofund to get them. In the context of revival and damage, we recently launched a pilot project with Kyiv School of Economics and UNDP, which is aimed to reflect on the National Geoportal the renewed cartographic materials from damaged settlements within the project of renovation. So far, we have uploaded Posad Pokrovsky in Mykolaiv Oblast, and further we will work on making other documents with UNDP and continue on this work. I think you'll be able to get more details when you get this presentation after the end of the conference. I would like to dwell upon the digital cartographic geodesical fund. We started this project in order to simplify the process of transfer of materials to a cartographic state fund, because it was too bureaucratized procedure. That's why we decided to set up an instrument which helps to upload materials into the cartographic fund. First of all, in order to avoid duplication of financial resources, because we are talking now about materials which were developed using national or local budgets, and then also avoiding duplication of human resources and operational management, because all the data which is contained in the cartographic fund are in big demand currently, and at the moment more than 1,200 digital cartographic materials have been uploaded into the system, and 637 certified geodesic engineers have been registered. But the process is very dynamic, and the state cartographic geofund is going to become an important element of the national system. Coming back to the issue which I raised at the beginning, what is the national idea for the development of national information system should be in Ukraine? Maybe the audience has some ideas or proposals. Let's listen to them. I think that the main idea should be based on the fact that it should not be free of charge. It should be exchange of information and exchange of money accordingly. So you follow the Norwegian model, because they are in the process of production of materials. They use the principle of co-sharing, where all the participants jointly pay for the production of data and jointly participate in their development. Maybe so, but at the beginning when we were formulating the idea, we always heard about accessibility of data and openness, especially in the vector form. The data should be available in the form in which they were created. Later we started speaking about administrative decision-making on the basis of this data, but in order to take official administrative decisions, you need data. If the data is obsolete or absent, it's difficult to take a decision. Then we started speaking that it should be the source of input. So this should be the source of getting input from the cartographic fund in order to know what's going on in the country. And also maybe it's the post-war restructuring and renovation of the state. This information should be used for simplifying and streamlining the process of revival in the future. I think these are the major themes and the possibility to make money as well, but we'll not put it on the slide. Maybe this is the major aim and idea of the development of national information system at the moment. Thank you for your attention.